There's growing pressure on the Prime Minister to allow a conscience vote on gay marriage. A Greens motion calls on all MPs to report on their community's views in August. New South Wales Labor MP John Murphy says the message is loud and clear in his electorate that people don't want change. But around the nation, the party's branches are voting for it. The issue will come to a head at Labor's National Conference in December, as political editor Chris Hillman reports.
Labor's staged, managed, bland 2007 National Conference actually ended with a colourful argument outside.
What do we want? Same-sex marriage! What do we want now?
Come December, Labor will bring the fight indoors. Does its National Conference again endorse a party platform that says marriage is the union of a man and a woman?
This is a step too far.
We will see change.
John Murphy is the member for Reid in Sydney's Inner West, a seat that runs along the southern side of the Parramatta River. He's a member of the party's right wing and says his views reflect his electorate, which includes a large Muslim population.
At the last election there was a redistribution and I inherited probably the most multicultural part of Australia centred on Auburn. And if people think that the old electorate that I represent of Low, which is a predominantly a Christian electorate, are concerned about this, well, I ask you to ask people of the Islamic faith what they think about the Labor Party's push to allow couples of the same gender to get married under the Marriage Act. They reject that.
Andrew Barr inhabits a very different world. He's the ACT's Deputy Chief Minister. He's also a member of Labor's right and he's openly gay.
I think it's seen as a positive reflection upon the Labor Party that we can generate people from all different backgrounds to serve in public office.
In the lead up to the National Conference, almost all Labor's state branches have endorsed same-sex marriage. The ACT Conference will vote on it this weekend.
Look, I think the ACT branch will record the strongest vote in favour of amending the Labor platform at a national level. We'll be referring the matter, obviously, to the National Conference, but taking a position ourselves in support of change. I think that reflects that growing grassroots momentum across the Labor Party in each state and territory branch.
Labor was always going to have this fight, but it was the Greens who put it on the national agenda.
The question is therefore resolved in the affirmative.
The Greens' sole member of the lower house, Adam Bandt, won a vote in November which called on all MPs to consult their electorates about gay marriage and report back on August 17.
The Australian Parliament has just taken an important step towards recognising what you already know, and that is that love is equal.
John Murphy doesn't believe that maintaining the traditional definition of marriage is discrimination.
I supported the changes to those Commonwealth laws that took away the discrimination against people who are in same-sex relationships. Now, I want to see their relationships recognised as a civil union, but not under the Marriage Act.
Some in Labor's right believe that pursuing this issue just reinforces a growing community view that Labor is a captive to the Greens and that it's spending political capital on issues that most people don't care about.
My sense is there's a growing momentum amongst Australians to see what is a discriminatory piece of Australian law amended to be more inclusive. And the Labor Party is always at its best when it's championing progressive reform.
If December's National Conference does endorse change or simply drop the reference to marriage being a union between a man and a woman, there are quite a few more hurdles yet. One is the Prime Minister.
It's my view that the Marriage Act should stay in its current form, and my view is unchanged.
Then there's the question of whether Labor MPs will be granted that rarest of things, a conscience vote in Parliament.
Well, I'm hoping that we'll be allowed a conscience vote on this. I think that's terribly important.
That the right's calling for a conscience vote shows two things: that it's losing the internal argument and that Labor's platform might well change. The second is that they believe they can win this vote on the floor of Parliament with the support of almost everyone in the coalition. But it's unlikely that the fight will end in a single showdown.
Political editor Chris Hillman.